Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with kerry, wehmeyer show for Saturday, April 23rd. We're going to be going over today's news headlines here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are live today, so thanks for joining us. If you're on the East Coast, West Coast, wherever you may be, thanks for coming in. We will send the links out. If you want a video chat with us, come on down. It will be via, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, you can do that as well. Or if you want in the regular chat, that's fine. I know a lot of people don't want to come on camera. I know there's a little camera shy and stuff like that. That's just, but that's all right. We understand. So a big time. So the first two links is for YouTube and Twitter users. You can go to those links, and they will send, and that will send you over to the StreamYard room. So you'll be here. So we'll know who you are. So also Facebook as well. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all three sites have their the sportscaster, the sports StreamYard link. So let's go ahead and go over some news headlines here for this Saturday. We're going to start locally. So let's go ahead and start locally here in the New Orleans area. So I'm going to go to Crescent City Sports, and we'll switch this over. Okay, Crescent City Sports is the site for local sports fans here in the Metro New Orleans area. That's with all the teams, LSU, Tulane, Saints, and many more they cover. So let's begin talking about this young man, Jacoby Matthews, recruited to LSU. He's from Ponchatoula. He will be in the 2022 class, so that he is 100% committed. So that right there, he's very close to home. When it comes down to it for his family or something like that, to go watch him play at LSU. So he's a 6'2", 208, top 5 safeties in the nation during the signing period. So he's from Ponchatoula. So I think like I said, I think it's a win-win situation for the LSU Tigers to get a safety like Matthews, because that's going to help LSU's defense down the road when it comes down to pass defense and stuff like that. So I think this is a very good signing for the LSU Tigers in general. So it just, like I said, LSU once again just reloading with their safeties and stuff like that. So once again, safety Jacoby Matthews will enter LSU. He will be a commit in 2022 class. So once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to crescentcitysports.com. Okay, let's see what else we have on our list today. Sports. Okay, baseball with big impacts back on the lakefront. UNO and Southeastern matchup. Yes, this is a very intriguing matchup between UNO and Southeastern. These two, like I said, these two are. It's like it's not. It's relatively. The distance is not that far for both teams. Southeastern's about a mile, an hour away from New Orleans, and then UNO is about an hour away from Hammond and stuff like that. So that's like I said, that's kind of what we see. Blake Dean entering his 6th season with the UNO Privateers. So after the loss, Friday's loss, Southeastern 17-8 in conference play, UNO 16-9. They're a half game in front of Sam Houston to fight for the Southland Conference race. The race is going to be very intense. The last couple of weekends going down the pipeline. So this, like I said, this is just like a close matchup between Southeastern and UNO. Just like LSU and Tulane, LSU is about maybe about 80 miles upriver, and Tulane's 80 miles downriver. Now, UNO and Tulane, the UNO and Tulane matchups have always been intriguing as well because they're crosstown rivalries in the city. So this matchup right here is no different when it comes down to it. I mean, I wish both teams good luck, but one's got to win. So that's just my take on it. So I think, like I said, this UNO baseball program is absolutely just on the brink of rebuilding, and they're going to continue to rebuild over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, look, this is gonna be a building process. They will get back to what they had back in the 80s when they went to the World Series and stuff like that under Coach Ron Maestri. So I look at it this way: UNO is not long and far apart from being a perennial powerhouse here in the state of Louisiana. So. Once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to crescentcitysports.com. Okay, Tulane football prospects. That's 2022 Tulane football prospects for the Tulane Green Wave. Willie Fritz have yet to secure a public comment on 2022 classes. So that's the dead period has been from at the end of June 15th. So they've been talking to some of these players. They got this one is Rodeo Graham. He's from ULab. That's another prospect. Jace Wilson. He's another one from Destrehan. Also Orion James. He's from Eleanor Memorial. So he's another guy Tulane could pick up within they'll be on their radar. Also Jeffrey Simmons, he's also another guy out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Also Cameron Collins from Cincinnati. Jamari Mollett from Alexandria, that's another guy. So I'll be honest with you, if they pick up these individuals on this list, Lambert Landy from Landy, if I'm saying his name right, he's from Calvary Baptist. That's another guy that could be a potential Tulane prospect. So I'd say this: look, 2022 class will be absolutely bright for Tulane football and beyond. So once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to crescentcitysports.com. Okay. So we will see what else we'll talk about here locally. Okay. Okay. LSU. Jalen Cook, UNCG guard Devin Brooks transfers to Tulane, so Devin Brooks will go to Tulane, and Cook will be going as well. So it looks like they're going to be heading over to the Tulane Green Wave. So he's transferring to Tulane, and also Devon Books. Will be coming over to the Tulane Green Wave. So that's looks like Coach Ron Hunter's building a quality basketball program with some recruits locally. So I'm glad to see Ron Hunter just absolutely just going after these young stars. That's from LSU. Once again, it kind of didn't you didn't play and stuff like that. So I think, to be honest with you, Tulane will be a good suitable school for these two young individuals. So this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to crescentcitysports.com. Okay, AJ Laborers last night shines. The bats fired up. LSU wins against the Ole Miss Rebels 7-2 yesterday in their game. So he had a complete game. He only gave up 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 6. He had 126 pitches, so it was pretty extensive for AJ Laborers. So I'll be honest with you, that was what happened yesterday. I think, to be honest with you, AJ Laborers, look, he's going to be in that starting role on Friday night, because look, I'll be honest with you, look, if he can go with 126 pitches and strike out 6 batters and only walk 1, that's amazing. You're doing something right. So that's something. Look, I'll be honest with you, I'm glad to see what happened last night for AJ Laborers and stuff like that. So once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to crescentcitysports.com. Okay, Tulane defeats Memphis 4-2 to sweep a doubleheader for their 8th straight win. So the Green Wave 8-1 in league. So this team, I'm gonna tell you, this team right now. Let's show you what happened. Once again, 8-1. I mean, I'm glad to see this baseball team absolutely progressing. Tulane's like this team. Can they make a run in the American Conference tournament? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? They can make. I'm pretty sure they might be a number 1 seed when it comes down to it. Because look, Tulane, this team, Jarvis Jewett is building a winner here in the city. He's absolutely building a winner. I mean, no buts about it. I mean, that's just something. Like I said, I'm glad to see this team just absolutely winning these games. So Jack Aldridge, he did have 7 innings. He gave up just only 2 hits, and he had a 1 earned run in the game. Tulane's also won 13-2 yesterday in their game, so they just absolutely exploded in that game. The next game will be Memphis. It'll be 4 p.m., so it's going to be the rubber match for the weekend. So that once again, this game will be aired on ESPN Plus. Also, you can listen to the game on WRBH 88.3. So that is ways you can listen to the Tulane baseball game on the radio or ESPN Plus. Okay, Hovland Bidtor shares the lead at the Zurich Classic. So Zurich Classic is going on out of TPC, Louisiana. So both Hovland and Bentor. So both of them shares the lead. So that's once again Soar Classic throughout the weekend. Okay, once again, Crescent City Sports will stream the LHSAA bowling finals. That's going to be out at so that's going to be in Gonzales. That's going to be on Monday. Ken Trahan and his crew will have the match for the LHSAA state championship in bowling. So that's once again Crescent City Sports in its 10th season of production of live broadcast for TV, internet. So over 3,000 games. So I'm glad to see the Crescent City Sports streaming these broadcasting these events, because look, the young people of glad to serve it. So once again, the bowling finals will be Monday on Crescent City Sports. You can go over to their YouTube page. Okay, Jeremy Kennedy has Loyola on the Cups of Experience. So it looks like that's that we have an interview. So we're going to go ahead and play the interview with Jeremy Kennedy. This is from Nash 106.1. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. So this is from Loyola. He's with Loyola. So let's go ahead and do that. If you also want to come in during the so we're going to have this in. I'm going to play this clip right here. Jeremy Kennedy. I'll be honest with you. Loyola is another team. They're absolutely this year. They're just trying to get going. The conference tournament for the Southern States Athletic Conference will be held in Mobile. It'll be May 5th through 8th. So Loyola's off to an impressive 17-9 start. Good year for the Loyola Wolfpack. So let's go ahead and play the video. So I'm going to go ahead and play the video. So I'm going to switch this in, share the audio. I'm going to bring in the audio. So we'll bring in the audio so you can hear.
Welcome back to the show on this Monday evening. Ken Trahan, turning to college baseball now. And of course, you always hear about LSU and Tulane and the University of New Orleans. And we touched recently on Xavier and the fine job they're doing in their first year back since 1960 with their fine head coach. And we've also talked about Delgado. Well, there's another program in town, my alma mater, Loyola University, that's having another really good baseball season. In fact, leading the Southern States Athletic Conference at 13-2, 30-10 overall. They won the last two games. It's been a program that's really ascended in the last 2 years under its fairly new head coach, because last year was interrupted, this year not, and they're having a better season. Great to welcome Jeremy Kennedy to the show. Coach, listen, thanks very much. Welcome to the show, and hey, congrats on a really good job thus far this season.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate you taking the time, and look forward to telling you a little bit about our team. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, you got a good conference. First of all, the Southern States is good. Mobile's a good program. William Carey's typically pretty good, but you got Middle Georgia State, who's nationally ranked. You got Faulkner, who's top 10, and of course your program at 15 right now. It's a good league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the better, traditionally one of the better conferences in the NAI, and so yeah, it's every weekend. You got your hands full with who you got. Like I think the last 4 or 5 weekends for us, it's all been weekends where we really got to prove ourselves, and especially with being the kind of the up and comer new team that's competing in the conference for a conference championship. It's every weekend. You're facing good weekend rotation and some good hitters right in the middle of the order that can hurt you.
One of the things that stands out to me, just studying what you've accomplished thus far this season is how your team has gotten off to fast starts continuously. You've outscored opponents 46-17 in the first inning. So clearly when you get the lead, it changes the dynamic of the game, how it's pitched, how it's played.
That's amazing how Loyola is outscoring opponents by a count of 46-17. That's something right there. Loyola baseball, look, sure, they might be an NAIA school, but the truth of the matter is these schools like Xavier and Loyola, they can play some serious college baseball now, just like on the JUCO side with Delgado and stuff like that. So, look, I mean, these baseball teams, I'm going to tell you, in the city are absolutely extraordinary when it comes down to it. So, we are listening to Jeremy Kennedy. He's the coach of Loyola's. Ken Trahan had him on his program, so we'll go ahead and continue with they're now 30-11, 13-2 in conference play. So let's continue.
It seems to me that you've done that pretty well thus far this season.
Yeah, our 2 through 5 hitters, arguably 6, have just really done a good job. Our 2, 3, 4 have been special this year, and they don't need to see a bunch of pitches in order to hit. Like they've done a good job of right out of the gate having an idea what the pitcher that we're facing has and what he can do, and they've been able to capitalize on it and jump on some guys. So yeah, they've done a good job of that, of hitting right out of the gate.
Yeah, you got a cluster of 5 guys that have put up some really good numbers. Peyton Alexander out of Catholic, of course, Michael Calamari, Alan Dennis, whom we know very well, Casey Collins, Peyton Lacoste. Those 5 guys, you look at the numbers, all have 26 or more RBI, all of them hitting above 300. So that's a really good 5-man punch that you have in your lineup.
Yeah, every time we turn the lineup over and those guys come back up, we feel really, really good that we got a good chance to not only score a run but to throw up a big inning. So in the bottom of our order, which has been productive of late, when they're productive, it makes our lineup tough because Calamari's in our 3-hole guy that's got some power. It's he hit some home runs, he hit some doubles, but he's a tough out. He does not strike out very often. And Peyton Alexander has had a tremendous year to this point. Where same thing, he can. The thing that he has that Calamari doesn't is he can really run. So getting him on base in front of Calamari and Alan Dennis, it makes it tough on the pitcher.
And then you look at your pitching, you got a solid 3.67 earned run average overall. John Blanchard, Stephen Still, Brendan Taravella have all pitched well for you, of course. Alexander Acevedo has been good. Brett Fasackerly has done a good job for you. Again, it's been a combination of things. You've hit the ball well, you've pitched it well, and you played pretty good defense.
Yeah, the pitching staff's done a tremendous job. We have 2 freshmen in Blanchard and Still going on the weekend, and to have 2 freshmen going on the weekend and to be able to do what we've been doing is pretty special. And those guys they've got big time competitive spirit. They've got good stuff. They're learning on the fly with things. Being freshmen, there's just things they need to learn, and so they're doing that on the fly. But they've stepped in and allowed us to move a couple guys that were in the weekend rotation last year to the bullpen, which has strengthened our bullpen. And our bullpen's really been a strength of our team in that they come in, they throw strikes. Unlike most bullpen guys, they're 3-pitch guys, and so if they don't have 1 pitch going that day, it's not a big deal. They can just go to the other 2, and so yeah, they've done a good job of throwing strikes, competing, and really making the opposing team have to beat us. We just don't beat ourselves on the mound. They're gonna have to hit their way to some runs if they're gonna get them.
Mike Girlando, Brett Simpson did a good job of securing Segnet Field back in the day when baseball came back. And of course, that Segnet Field has become a real home field advantage. You understand the dynamics. Of course, having turf helps significantly. So that's also been a nice component, hasn't it?
Yeah, Signet's a great ballpark. we know our field. We know what we got. Early in the spring, it's tough to hit. When you got the north wind blowing in, it's really tough to get out. And then now with the wind changing from the south more consistently, it'll fly a little bit to left. But it's still a tough place to hit. Center's super deep. It's hard to get it out to right. If we got the south wind, then we can get it out to left. But yeah, it's a great ballpark. They're doing some improvements to it. They have some stuff planned over the next few years to replace the turf and do some other things that we're excited about. So yeah, it's a good ballpark to come watch a game. We've got nice covered seating, grandstand area, and we're working hard to try to be able to host a regional this year. I think it's a great venue to host a regional at.
Jeremy Kennedy, head coach of Loyola, with us, talking about the Wolfpack program. And I guess the intriguing thing, and of course I'm a Loyola alumnus and did games for Loyola and love the school, and my father went there and my son went there, the whole deal. Bottom line is that the baseball program had some moderate success, some good times here and there, but by and large it had been a struggle, particularly with pitching, with everybody that preceded you there. And it's not like they weren't good coaches. They were good coaches. What's been the difference? How have you been able to get that better pitcher, that better athlete, by and large, to come and produce these kind of results?
Well, Stephen Bruce, our pitching coach, deserves a ton of credit for that. He does a tremendous job. He played for me, and then got signed by the Texas Rangers and spent a few years in their system, and just was released before he came here with me. And he's got a great feel for what those guys need to do. I think the thing that they've done a really good job of is understanding what it is that they do well and understanding what it is that they don't do well. And we focus on what they do well. We don't really worry about what they don't do well, and we pitch to their strengths. And if we throw a ton of strikes, we'll pitch backwards when we need to. And it's something that they're comfortable doing. We force them to do it all year. We force them to do it in the fall, even in situations where maybe it's not necessarily warranted. We force them to do it because that's what they're going to have to do in order to get outs. And they've been doing it all spring. So we've had some guys make some great jumps where their velocity spiked, and turned into different pitchers than they were 2 years ago. So Steven's just done a tremendous job with those guys. They're bought into what he's having them do, and they're performing with great competitive spirit and composure.
You're looking at the rest of what's to come this week. You've got Spring Hill coming to play at Segnet tomorrow at 5 p.m. Then you make the trip to play at Mobile this coming weekend. 3-game set. Talk about this week here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, Spring Hill is kind of a little Jesuit rivalry we've had forever. So we played a midweek at their place already this year, and we're able to get one from them. And then this is the second game of the home and home, and so we're looking forward to that this tomorrow. And then this weekend's a big weekend for us. We're in position, headed to Mobile to win a conference championship. We're one game up on Faulkner, and there's a couple other teams that are right there behind Faulkner in the mix. Mobile being one of them, and so it's a good opportunity for us to go continue doing what we've been doing. And if we can do that, then we're in a great position.
Leading the Southern States Athletic Conference, ranked 15th in the nation in NAI right now, the Wolfpack of Loyola. Jeremy Kennedy, listen, we appreciate the time. Keep up the great work. Nothing but the best tomorrow, and then at Mobile this coming weekend as well.
Thanks, Ken.
Look, I'll be honest with you. The Coach Kennedy for Loyola has done an excellent job building that baseball program at Loyola. So I'll be honest with you. Look, sure, they might have had a bad year when before in the previous years with but this team right here, I'm gonna tell you, this Loyola Wolfpack baseball team, look, if they do host a regional at Signet Field, that's something. Look, that's going to be an accomplishment for the Loyola Wolfpack. So I look at it this way: this team is not going anywhere anytime soon. They're going to be very potent when it comes down to it. They got some good hitters. They absolutely got the 5 best hitters on their baseball team. They're hitting a whopping 293, and also they have a solid 376 ERA. So I'm gonna say this: look, this is a very potent team. So once again, Loyola baseball. Once again, Loyola will take on Mobile this weekend out in Mobile to win the Southern States Conference Championship. They're once again they're one game up on Faulkner. So they if they win this weekend, they should be able to secure the Southern States Conference Championship regular season. So once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Go to CrescentCitySports.com. That's CrescentCitySports.com. Okay, what else we have? Okay, 16-year-old Jesuit star Pulsai Caballo helped build a major league roster during World War II. So this is from Richard Celine. You can follow him at Crescent City Sports, talking about the rosters back in 1942. The individual in the article. So I look at it this way. That's something right there that was an excellent outlook. So that's something right there. So let's see. Let's go over to this is from Crescent City Sports. Okay, once again, 5 home games. New look Southland Conference slate highlights the 2021 football season for the Northwestern State Demons. This is from Jason Pugh. You can reach him at Crescent City Sports. So they will have a 11 game. They had 11 game. So it's going to be 11 game fall schedule. So it's going to be 5 home games for the Demons. So the Demons open up their season against Texas State. So that's North Texas. Excuse me, North Texas. They will play Alcorn at home. So I'll be honest with you, Northwestern State. Look, hopefully they can build, get their program back off the ground, because they've not been good as of late. So that's what's hopefully that can happen for the Demons. So Demons will have 5 home games. So the New Look Conference this year. Some teams that's been in the Southland Conference is going to be leaving the Southland Conference, going over to the Division I conference. I think it's going to be the WAC or something like that. So you'll see a completely different shape in the Southland Conference. So this is the schedule right here. They will take on UT Martin, also Southeastern. They'll be in Hammond. They'll take on Incarnate Word. They'll take on Houston Baptist, McNeese. They'll also will take on Southeastern again. It'll be in Natchitoches. So this time will be on October 23rd in Natchitoches. They also will take on Nichols. That'll be at Thibodaux. It'll be on October 30th. Houston Baptist will be in Toppin Stadium. Houston Baptist it'll be Houston, and then they will head over to Lake Charles to play the McNeese Cowboys. So they're going to play Southeastern and Houston Baptist and the Incarnate Word 2 times. So that is the new schedule for the Northwestern State Demons. So let's move along. Okay, Bell Chase, Warren Easton, Cabrini wins district track titles. Congratulations to those 4 schools for winning their district track titles. Bell Chase team score was 172, followed by Carl with 165, Helen Cox 148. New Orleans Military and Maritime was 40.5, and Landry was 7. Warren Easton, 204. That was an 11-4A. Carver had 170. Ben Franklin, 58. Luxor Charter had 53. Maine had 24. John Kennedy at 21. Livingston Collegiate with 4. Final girls team scores. Carr have 180. Bell Chase with 164. Academy of Our Lady is 43. Helen Cox 29. And New Orleans Maritime Military School 11. Also in District 11-4 for the girls, Cabrini, Warren Easton, Luxor Charter, Ben Franklin, Carver, and John F. Kennedy. So all 4 of those schools win the district track titles. So congratulations to all 4 of those schools. Carver, Bell Chase, Carr, and Warren Easton. So what else we have? Okay. Okay, Pelicans blistering nets to blow out the Magic. So that's what happened in the game the other night. We did not do the game. Pelicans won 135-100 over the Magic. Pelicans shot 55% in the game. They also went 50 of 90 for a change and had a solid 3-point shooting with 12 of 28. Orlando shot only 36%. So that was in the game the other night. The Pelicans will take on the San Antonio Spurs tonight in the Smoothie King Center. We will have the game for you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter later on this evening. So we are going to be live. So, once again, this is from Crescent City Sports. Follow them at Crescent City Sports at CrescentCitySports.com. So let's go ahead and go over a few Twitters. We'll go over some Twitters. We'll go over the Twitters, see what's happening on the Twitter side. Okay, let's put this up. Okay, Shelmet Owls. So we might have a fan bus for the first round of the baseball playoffs. If it's near Shreveport, so it would be a good damn idea. So it looks like they're going to have a fan bus for the fans who wants to go up to the Shreveport and see the Chalmette baseball team play in the 5A state playoffs. And they'll be able to do that. So that's I'm glad to see that happen. I'm glad to see that happening. So once again, this is from Owl Chalmette. Follow them at Owl Chalmette. And we will looks like that went too fast. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, this is from Sporting News. Follow them at Sporting News. Eagles drafted fullback Norm Michaels back in the 1944 draft, but couldn't locate him. And he didn't realize he joined the Army, so that was back in 1944. So he was drafted by the Eagles, but he did join the Army. So that was once again. This is from Sporting News. Go to sportingnews.com. That's sportingnews.com. Also, Okay, Southland Conference. Huskies eliminate New Orleans to move on. They will play Central Arkansas in a eliminational duel. That's in beach volleyball. So volleyball team season is over. That's for the beach volleyball. Follow the Southland Conference at Southland Sports. Okay, the Source podcast has the Brewers. So at minus 105, Padres plus 140, Nationals plus 175, Orioles 150, D-backs 182, and also the Reds plus 105. So that's in the follow them at Source Podcast. They are the sports news and analysts. That's 100% for sports gambling industry. So let's see what else we have. We'll go to the notifications, see if we can go over to different information. So we'll go over to FanDuel, see what's happening on FanDuel. FanDuel is a site devoted to sports gaming industry. Okay, let's see. This is from the Ringer NBA. During the 3-game losing streak, the Sixers have shown they can hang with anyone in the East come playoff time. I'm pretty sure they can. The Sixers can be a legit contender. I'm pretty sure they most likely will be will be in the playoffs when it comes down to it. I mean, look, because they're going to be in the Eastern Conference side, so they're going to be in the playoffs. Now, the Knicks is going to be another team that's going to be a up and coming team for in the Eastern Conference playoffs once the season ends next month. So, I mean, be honest with you, like I said, be on the lookout for those teams that's going to be making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. So once again, this is from Ringer NBA. Follow them at Ringer NBA. And we'll see what else we have on FanDuel. Okay. Okay, this is from FanDuel. Once again, who's got y'all pick one? Is it going to be Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, or Justin Herbert? So that's what they're talking about. So that's with FanDuel. Follow them at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com. Okay, once again, UFC Parlay Insurance, talking about place a parlay on the leg of from any fight of UFC 261. So that's what they're talking about. So if you can opt in consistently with FanDuel, follow them at FanDuel.com. See what else we have. Okay, this is Dr. Disrespect. Followed him at Dr. Disrespect. UFC 261 tonight. I got Joel Vital to shock the champion. So it looks like that's going to be a pretty good wager right there for the UFC 261 tonight. So this is from FanDuel. So let's see what else we have. We'll go over to another site. Let's go to Pro Sports Outlook. Pro Sports Outlook is a site. Once again, let's okay, on this day, April 24th, 1901, the Chicago White Stockings defeated the Cleveland Blues 8-2 for their first ever American League baseball game. So that's back in 1901. So that's over 100 years ago. So the Chicago White Stockings are winning their now they're now the Chicago White Sox. So once again, follow Pro Sports Outlook at Pro Sports Outlook. And let's see what else we have. Okay, one of the most electrifying playmakers in college football history, Justin Fields, enters the NFL with track record of most successful, success and game film that shows a high ceiling of potential of a MVP caliber dude threat quarterback. I'm pretty sure Justin Fields will be that caliber quarterback that could be a dual threat when it comes down to it. So I think it's a very imperative situation with Justin Fields. So I think it's a very, I mean, like I said, if somebody drafts him in the NFL draft, they're going to get a very good quarterback in Justin Fields. So that's something. Look, I mean, a lot of teams are going to select him. I mean, a lot of teams. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Outlook, or the Pro Sports Outlook on Twitter. Now, we have, this came out 4 hours ago. Play of the day. This is in last night's game between the Wizards and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Westbrook had 37 points, 11 boards, 11 assists. He also had 61% shooting. He went 3 or 4 from 3-point range, so that was pretty good. He had a triple-double, so that's in yesterday's game. Most triple dubs in the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 range. So it looks like that's, but he did get 37, 11 rebounds and 11 assists. So once again, this is from Pro Sports Outlook. Go to Pro Sports Outlook. Okay, let's once again, this is from Manny's defensive gem last night. That's nice little gem at third base. So it's an excellent glove work by Manny Machado. So it's glad to see that that was yesterday's game. Dodgers and Padres. This is from Pro Sports Outlook. Go to Pro Sports Outlook. This is came out 11 hours ago. Fernando Tatis, who will be 22 years old all season long, has tied for the Padres lead in multiple homers and games. So that's some pretty good information. Follow. This is Ryan Spader. That's SPAEDER. Follow him at Pro Sports Outlook. Okay, we'll see what else we have. And looks like not. So we'll go to another site. Let's go over to. Let's see. We'll go over to. We'll go over to NFL Trade Rumors. NFL Trade Rumors is a website devoted to the NFL. So that's what cap updates. So this came out 31 seconds ago for all 32 teams. So cap update, all 32 teams in general. So let's give you a cap update. Let's show you the caps for all the teams. So I'm going to pull this up for you. And I'm going to put that in. Okay, the cap space. Let's give you cap space updates. Okay, this is your cap space. This is the teams, all 32 teams, where they rank. The Jaguars have 39, 627. The cap changes was 270. Broncos are in second. Jets are in third. Bengals are in fourth. Colts in fifth. Lions in sixth. Browns in seventh, Chargers in eighth, ninth the 49ers, so they're in the top 10. Washington football team also in the top 10. Patriots come in at number 11. Cardinals number 12. Ravens 13. Also, Chiefs come in at 14th. Steelers 15th. Texans 16th. Now the rest of the rankings, Panthers come in at number 17. Seahawks come in at 18th. Vikings at 19th. 20th, Cowboys. Rams coming at number 21. Dolphins come in at number 22. So they're not in the top 10. They're way below it. Titans come in at number 23. Raiders come in at number 24. Giants come in at number 25. Number 26, the Bills. The Eagles come in at number 27. The Packers, 28th. The Buccaneers come in at 29th. Falcons come in at 30th. The Bears come in at number 30th. And the New Orleans Saints, unfortunately, comes in at number 32 with 219 354 in the cap. So they're over the cap. So they're about 140 over the cap. That's unfortunately, that is something. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think that's poor trade deals and stuff like that with the Saints and stuff. So the Saints are going to have to get that cap under control if they're going to go get some players in the draft. Because if we don't get that cap space under control, we won't be able to go get those players that we need. Because look, Marshawn Lattimore, he's no longer with the Saints. So I'll be honest with you. Look, if we got to go get somebody, a cornerback or a quarterback in the draft or free agency, we ain't gonna be able to do it. That's because the cap space is way over $140 million. That's something we have to get corrected when it comes down to it. So that's something. Look, we cannot. I cannot stress enough to people here on this broadcast is the Jaguars is in the top is number one. So that I'm gonna tell you that right there. When it comes down to it, they got they only spend they're 270 in the green. So they 270 in the green. Now the Saints are 140 in the red. So I mean, a lot of things have to be fixed with the Saints salary cap situation. So once again, this is from NFL Trade Rumors. Go to NFL Trade Rumors. That's NFL Trade Rumors on NFLTradeRumors.com. And we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. We'll be back later on this evening with the New Orleans Pelicans taking on the San Antonio Spurs. That will be later on this evening on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So we will be on later on this evening for that game. So that will be, we will have audio only. We cannot have video. Video is not allowed during the broadcast. So once again, everybody have a good rest of your Saturday afternoon. And we'll be back later with Pelicans basketball coverage.